Good morning. It's Thursday, September 18th, and it's about running a little late today. It's about 5 a.m. out here doing my cardio out at the local park, the track in the back, trying to get 5,000 steps in to start the day. Going live. I tell you what, the last 2 lives I've done, man, I tell you what, they've been really cool. A lot of great people in the lobby, a lot of good conversations. It's pretty cool. See if we can get another one this morning. It's like you hit on them, you know, maybe 1 or 2, and then they just drop off, and then you'll get a couple dead ones, you know. People sleeping in and stuff. But then I noticed too, the timeline is not always my timeline. You get people from all over the world. It's pretty cool. But we just walk, talk until somebody jumps in and starts a conversation. Let's just keep going. It's really foggy out today. This morning, I should say. And then the lights over the soccer field really shows how thick the fog is. I don't know if you can get a picture of it. Let's see. See the fog? It's pretty thick. You can see it with the lights in the lit area. And you come over to the dark, you really can't see nothing. There's no light to really show it. But yeah, the fog's pretty thick. It's pretty thick fog out here this morning. Good morning, good morning. How you doing? Hope you have a good day today. That's the first one to start out. How y'all doing this morning? How you doing this morning? Let's get it. It's foggy. That fog is thick this morning. But it's sort of got the air sort of cool. Good to breathe. Y'all gonna quit jumping in and out of my lobby. If you jump in, say something. At least say hi before you leave. Say something. Leave me a like. Leave me a subscribe before y'all take off. Quit leaving the old man. I'm out here in the dark. Out here trying to do it. Get these 5,000 steps in. Not trying. I'm gonna do it. There you go. Raimondo's world. Yeah, that's a good question, brother. That's a good question. And as you get older, man, that question gets just as much important, man, especially lately. The meaning of life, man. I don't know. For me, I'd have to say the meaning of life would be the love. You know? Whether you get your heart broke or not, man, you just gotta love. You know, it's all part of it. Just to be able to love, to be able to be loved, you know what I mean? To be able to feel it. The heartbreak, the good, the bad, just all of it. You know, to be able to experience that, I think for me, that's the meaning of life. Hola, saludos desde la Gran España. Are you from Spain? Yeah. My father's Puerto Rican, so yo sí hablo español. Yo entiendes. I speak Spanish. How you doing, Aiden? Good morning, good morning. Hatred, yeah, hatred's part of it. To me, I always believe good can't live without evil, evil can't live without good, man. That's just life. That is life. That's the meaning of life. There you go. Good and evil. One can't live without the other. It's just all about the balance, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. I tell you, that was, who is this? Hold on, let me see this. Who said that? It's about feeling better. Yeah, yeah. That was Raimundo. Yeah, Raimundo. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I tell you what, Raimundo, that's probably one of my greatest things is my kids. Yeah, they're a great part of my life and my existence. Yeah, having kids. Yeah, I appreciate that, Aiden. I appreciate you. You know what? Speaking of Spain, you do understand English, right, Aiden? I'm gonna take it you understand what I'm saying, right? So I got something funny that came across the other day, because I keep track of Spain, you know, politics, stuff like that going on, you know what I mean? And it's so funny to me. I was watching the other day, and Spain's having their problem right now, just like everybody else with migration and everything, and how they're having problems with tourists, and they don't want the tourists no more, and this and that, and they're protesting about tourists and stuff like that. And then I saw this commercial keeps playing over and over the last few days about Spain and this Spanish lady, and she's promoting tourism. Yeah, come to Spain. We got tour guides to show you around this and that. And I'm thinking, man, weren't y'all just protesting about getting rid of all the tourism? Wasn't there like a big old uprising and stuff? And I was like, man, that's pretty funny. Yeah, but the world's crazy, you know what I mean? The world's crazy. Charlie Kirk. But you know what, though? White Wolf, like you're saying, right? May his soul rest in peace. And that's what I say. The man ain't even buried in the ground. And these top influencers, man, they're just feeding like vultures and sharks all over his death. You know what I mean? I mean, if it came across like something meaningful coming out their mouths and stuff, but to me, it's just, all I see are dollar signs coming out their mouths the more they talk and feed on them, and good and bad. At least let the man go in the ground, But I don't know. That's just my opinion. And then as far as, yeah, he was, good, spread good word and stuff. But like the talk we were just having a second ago about good and evil, today's world, evil's the one doing everything. Evil's the only one acting, you know what I mean? Good is just sitting around talking. Until good starts acting, evil's still gonna just keep walking over everybody, man. It's time for action. It ain't time for talk. Talk is over. Talk is overrated. These days, man, it's there's a time for talk, but time for talk is over. Yep, yeah. Time and talk is over, man. It's time to act. These last couple generations and these weak-minded people today, nothing but followers, no leaders, nobody standing for themselves. Everybody want to ride with everybody else. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. It's time for action, not, against a lot of things going on in this world today. I believe strongly in a lot of things going on, but living here in my small town, we don't see none of that. Thank God we don't see none of that. You don't see no protests. You don't see no walks. You don't see none of that where I live. Not at the schools, nowhere. None of that. Our schools still say the Pledge of Allegiance. They still do a lot of American things around here where I'm at. Like I walked around old downtown, which is nothing but a little square, probably smaller than the size of the soccer field I'm on. That's our downtown. And people were looking at me like I was crazy because I had a camera and I was recording. That's not even normal around here. The middleman. Nah, I used to try to be the middleman, William. Try to see both sides of things. But then you open your eyes and you look at both of them for what they really are. And in the end, you got to choose a side, It's all good when you're driving, when you're on that journey. You know, how you doing, Sky Kun? Yeah, but you know, in the end, you got to pick a side. You know, and you can't have no doubts about it. You know, you have to choose, and you have to choose for yourself. You know, but and like I said, good can't live without evil. Evil can't live without good. It's all about the balance, the scales. And right now, evil's winning on the scales. You know what I mean? Good is not doing good. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to. There's gonna come a time where you ain't gonna have a choice. You're gonna have to choose. You know, that's the problem with people today. They don't want to choose. I'm sure. No offense to you, but that's the problem. The problem today with good and evil is speaking out, evil is acting on their words. Good is talking in the shadows and just sitting down, ain't doing nothing. You know, they're not choosing to fight. They're choosing to talk, not choosing to fight. Yeah, no, yeah. That's same way I am, William. I treat everybody with respect. You know, you respect me, I respect you. But the problem today is that's the problem. The evil that's acting out today is not respecting, you know, pushing agendas on people, you know, like I don't care who you are, what religion, what you claim, man, woman, dog, cat, it don't matter to me. As long as you don't push it on me or my children or just be you, you know what I mean? Just don't push it on nobody else, you know what I mean? Oh, I have to make you, I'm sure. Life will make you eventually, trust me. Eventually it will come at you and you're gonna have to choose. Nah, evil ain't lost yet. Evil's still in the head of the race right now. Yeah, exactly. That's the only way it used to work. That's how I am, you know, Magic. That's how I feel, you know. Like, 'cause I ain't gonna lie, I used to be a bad person, man. I lived with a lot of regret in my life. I was terrible in my teens and my 20s. I was a terrible person. So I've always tried for the last 20, 25 years, I've been trying to be a good person. And like Magic said, you know, the trickle effect, you know, I try to do good. Every chance I get, you know, I try to do good. And hopefully when that person tries to repay me, I say, no, I'm good. Just pass it on, you know what I mean? Help the next person, you know? Yeah, I hear you, I'm sure. I didn't have to choose. My choice was made at birth. I was born into good. I wasn't born into evil. You know, my choice was already made. You know, just like yours, you were born into good too. And you know it. No, people are free to make their own choices, Will. But I'm just saying, eventually you're gonna have to make that choice. Nah, Levi, I ain't evil. Nah, I used to be a bad person, but I found my way out of that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Will. Love and peace. But nobody's spreading love and peace. You know? Even media, social media, it's all negative. The only thing that makes money, if y'all watch on social media, if y'all see, especially on YouTube and everywhere else, the only things they push is negative. They push arguments. They push negative thoughts, negative opinions. Nothing good ever gets pushed. You never see good getting pushed. You know what I mean? So, what's up, funny guy? How you doing? Yeah, AI is terrible. I mean, it's just, you know, and that's another thing, you know, it's a lot of manipulation, radicalization, you know, being pushed. A lot of people today, man, weak minds. I don't know, I've always been a leader, never been a follower. I've always been proud of myself for that. You know, I want to lead a crowd. I don't want to follow a crowd. Yeah, it's entertaining. I understand that, I'm sure. And that's the point, right? It's entertainment. That's what it's all about. You know, it's sad that, you know, original people can't get the attention, you know, for doing original things, you know, like real everyday life things that you and me are capable of doing. Instead, we watch these people on social media living these fancy lives and all the flash and the fab, and we think, and all we do is sit there on the couch watching, dreaming, man, I wish that was me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. That's how I was before I started this weight loss journey. Man, I watch all these influencers, man. I used to watch tons of influencers and trying to sell you diets and routines and this and that, and all of them skinny, you know. And I say 8 out of 10, you'll never see in their bio like a transformation of weight loss, like they've ever been through it. They were like that way their whole lives, you know, trying to speak about being fat, never been fat in their lives, you know. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this just me. No coaches, no nutritionists, nothing, just me. Yeah, I hear you. That's what it is. It's like being in a box their whole lives, you know what I mean, Will? Most people have been in this box their whole lives, you know. You gotta jump outside the box and look inside the box and see it for what it really is, you know. You know, I've traveled, man. As far as the United States go, I've traveled, man. Up and down the East Coast, Midwest, you know. And that's the beauty. A lot of people that ain't traveled, been out the box, you know, they think America is America. Ain't nothing different. No, America's so different. You got your northern, your eastern, your northeast, your south, your Midwest South, your Midwest North, accents, culture, everything's different. America's just, it's pretty broken up. Bunch of beautiful things though. But everybody, even outside our country, think we're all the same, you know. It's just, an American is American, you know what I mean? But nah, we're a bunch of different people, man. Different thoughts, different ideas, different beliefs. But, how you doing, Coulter? I'm trying, Coulter, I'm trying. We down 47 pounds so far in, well, I weigh in this Saturday, but for the last, I don't know, before this week, it was what, 70 days, I say 70 days, 47 pounds in the last 70 days. Oh yeah, that's another thing, you know, people look at things like that, you know. I hear you, Will. That's another thing. I mean, I've been on top, man. I've been on the bottom. I've been in the middle. Man, I've had 2-3 houses at one time with 5-6 vehicles. Man, had a wife, a beautiful family. I've had it all at one time, you know, and then you end up losing it. I've been down and out. Man, I lived in homeless shelters before. Right now, I'd say I'm more of a, I don't know, I'd say I'm in the lower middle class level right now. But I'm happy. I'm happy. But you definitely find out who your friends are when you're on top and then you fall off and get to the bottom. And you'll find out. Then you get back up again and then they all want to be your friends again. Nah, not this time, buddy. I don't know, I found out being alone has made me happier than ever. No friends, I don't hang with family, you know, I don't socialize. I don't know. It's been making me happier, you know what I mean? It's less, I guess less bullshit you gotta deal with. Like, what's his name said? Less bullshit you gotta deal with. That's like talking to you guys, you know, this morning when I do these lives, it's like therapy for me, you know, I get to talk, speak out, you know, how I feel, what's on my mind, or if something's bothering me. We don't know each other, you know what I mean? We're just a bunch of strangers in here talking with each other. And you notice we don't get upset with the negative comments and stuff because it doesn't, you know, it's not personal to us, you know what I mean? It's just a conversation. But you hold conversations like that with family or friends, you know, they take it personal. And then that conversation turns into an argument, you know what I mean? We can sit here and discuss things and, you know, disagree with each other and it's all good, you know? We'll sit here and we'll talk. How you doing, Major? Fort Wayne, Indiana. We down here in Central Florida. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Nowadays, you know what makes me happy, Will, is just seeing my kids happy. You know, they're grown now. They're living their lives. They're working, you know. They're trying to create their own adult lives, you know what I mean? And just watching them work so hard and be good boys, you know, be good people, it really makes me happy and proud. That's what keeps me going. Will's in Oklahoma. Oh, wait, seriously? Congratulations, Will. I'm gonna tell you what, that changes everything, you know? When I had my first one, before that first one, man, I was wild. And so was my wife, you know, we were both wild. And after having that kid, you know, I changed, you know, right off the rip. You know, my responsibilities changed, but she didn't. And that's how I lost my wife. She wanted to stay, you know, in that lifestyle, that partying, that being young stage, you know, not take the responsibility. Those were pretty much her exact words, you know. He said, Guy said, Bill, all right, Bill, I got you. Hey, Guy, what's fat got to do with it, Guy? We don't want to get to talking about Trump. You know, I don't vote. I've never voted in my life. I don't know. A lot of people, like I said, we all see things different. Me, I always felt like I was the president, you know, the emperor, whatever you want to call it, of my house, you know what I mean? The only one that was responsible for my house was me. Pay my bills, get stuff done, put food in the house. It was my responsibility. It wasn't the president's, it wasn't nobody else's, you know what I mean? So my concerns was only with me and my house. I never worried about the presidency or anything else. I mean, you know, I see how strong people do it, you know. But I see how it is. Yeah, I love you too, Coulter, man. Oh, I hear you. I hear you, Bill. Yeah, that's another discussion. Yeah. Yeah, me and my dad, we separated when I was like 14. He pretty much broke my family down. He didn't break us up, he just broke us. He did some evil stuff, man. And then I said about 6-7 years ago, he was on his deathbed. Now, mind you, he was in another state. I'm down here in Florida. He was in Philadelphia. And we ain't seen each other since I was 14, 15. And on his deathbed, he was trying to get the family up there to call me, and I wouldn't call him back. He was in the hospital on his deathbed. And I think all he wanted was for me to forgive him. I think he was going to apologize. And like a few hours later, he passed away. And I'll be honest with you, Bill. You know, in my mind, my regret, I wish I would have took that call and just, you know, took his forgiveness and even forgave him. You know, if not for him, but for me, you know, for that, what they call that? You know, to be able to let go, you know, the closure, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't. It's too late now, so yeah, peace of mind. Yeah, exactly. But it is what it is, you know. I did it. Now I gotta live with it. But I try to tell people, you know, when I run across people that are having problems with their parents or stuff like that, you know, no matter how evil or bad it was, you know, if you don't forgive them for them, at least forgive them for yourself, you know. Get that peace of mind, that closure. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, you know. Some grudges are hard to let go, you know. But, you know, that's what made me want to be a great dad, you know, a great father. I was a single father for 25 years. I raised both my boys by myself. They were 11 months old and 3 years old when she left us. They're 23 and 27 now. Yeah, good boys too. They're good boys. I should say good young men, right? I still call them boys. But yeah, they're good boys. I'm trying to be, Danny. You know, that's part of my goal too on this journey. You know, I want to get better, not just physically. I want to get better emotionally. Just all the way around, you know. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about religion, but, and I'm trying to get closer to God too, I mean, I've always known God, I always loved God. I was born and raised Catholic into a Spanish family. So, my mom, church twice a week, baptized when I was, I think, 4 years old. And, but I don't know, all I can do is try. Yeah. And I'm hoping my sons do better, That's as good parents, all we want, like our kids, a lot of people say, no, he's going to grow up, be just like you. Nah, I don't want him to grow up to be just like me. I want him to grow up to be better than me, As parents, that's what we want for our kids. Not to be like us, to be better than us, You're 24, Bill? Yeah. What happened, Bill? Why'd you walk away from Christianity? Now, see, you say you walk away from Christianity, meaning you walk away from the religion, or you walked away from God, Those are two different things, Bill, two different things. Oh, pagan. Yeah. Yeah, I had an uncle. He was my ancestry, my mom's side, they're from Ireland. My grandmother, my great-grandmother, they were come straight from Ireland. And my uncle, he was born in Scotland. What the hell was that? What the hell? Damn screech owls, man, be scaring the dog out of me. Jesus Christ. Had a big one land on the field yesterday morning. It's in my last live. If you watch, you'll see it. He landed right out in the middle of the soccer field in the light, just staring at me. He was like 2 foot tall. Man, scared the shit out of me. He said, yeah, I hear you, Bill. Yeah. Yeah, the freaking owl scared the dog out of me, man. But yeah, that's how I am pretty much. I don't go to church. I talk to God every day. I do it in my own way. I've always felt that church was man, you know what I mean? Just like religions are man. But, but it even says, what does it say? I think it says in the Bible, I ain't gonna quote, I don't know for sure. But, the churches are like for a congregation. That's what they call it, congregation. That's so people with like minds can congregate, you know what I'm saying? That's what that's for, That's all that is, But I'll be honest with you, I've met some of the craziest people in church. And I ain't gonna lie, some of the freakiest girls too. All right, let's keep it clean. Who's that, Cormac? Yeah, Cormac, I have been there. I've done my time. But hey, before I forget, y'all leave me a subscribe and a like now. I'm trying to grow this damn channel. Maybe the old man can get monetized one day. Y'all check me out, my weight loss channel. Go over there and check me out. Y'all see I put in the work. Man, I've only been doing this for, what I say, 80 days. Today's 80 days. Man, I got over 500 videos already. So I be putting in work. So I think I earned it, you know what I mean? Treat me like a pro. Nah, I'm still a noob, ain't I? I'm still learning the game, still learning the edits and all that stuff. But I'm learning though. Gives me something to do when I'm on my off time when I ain't training. I learn how to do it. Still trying to learn how to use a damn computer. Hey, never again. Yeah, I'm out here every morning. Every morning. 4:30, 5 a.m. every morning. I ain't gonna miss it. I'm on a mission. I'm gonna get this weight down. I'm gonna build these muscles. I'm gonna get it going. Let's see. Hey, Yeah. Yeah, he said, yeah. I hear you. No, yeah. Life, man. I don't know if you saw my video, never, but you see I lost my dog yesterday morning. I told you all that owl, man, was talking to me. That owl showed up at my house, and then not even a week later, 4 miles down the road, the same owl right in the middle of a lit up field, watching me the whole time, and that was yesterday morning. I think the first time when the owl came, it was warning me that death was coming. And then I think the time that morning it came yesterday morning was letting me know that it was here. But I thought it was for me. I ain't gonna lie. And then I get home, and after my training is when I usually go out and give my dog fresh water and food, and she was gone, man. She was gone. Yeah, see, Bill, yeah, trust me, I know. I felt it when I first met him. I knew something was wrong, man. Yeah, it killed me, man. He killed me. I've had her for 11 years about. She was like a daughter to me. I loved her, man. She was spoiled. She had her own big backyard fenced in. She had her own room, AC, fans. She was spoiled for a dog, you know. She was spoiled. But she earned it, you know. She was always good to me. Yeah. Yeah, she lived good. She was good. I mean, she, you know, obviously can always be better, you know. But, and, you know, as a parent, you know, we always feel like we failed them in some way, you know. That killed me. Like, I don't know, what hit me the hardest was, you know, because, you know, we got her as a puppy and, you know, we got her fixed and everything. I always felt bad about that because I don't know, I think all dogs should at least experience that first time giving birth, you know, as a mother. Just like I think any woman should, you know, because that's a God-given gift, you know what I mean, to produce like that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it was, you know. I was thinking something like that too, Bill, because we were starting to get a rat problem because there's a lot of high grass around us, a lot of farmland. A lot of these guys, they don't clean their properties, and then when they do, they wait till it gets real high, and then when they clean it, all the rats and everything come out, and then they come over to our place and stuff. And I was treating for it, but which I've done before, never had a problem. But I think one bit her. Yeah. He said, what is that, Cormac? Dementia? Nah, that bird was talking to me, man. I felt it the first time and I felt it the second time. And I usually get these feelings in my heart and they're never wrong. Honestly, I thought it was me. I thought with all this training I've been doing and all this walking, I thought I was gonna fall over or something. Yeah, I hear you, never. Yeah, I remember you said that, yeah. Yeah, I thought I was gonna fall over or something walking. But I ain't seen the owl since, man. I'll tell you what, if I see that owl again, I ain't coming outside. Yeah, we got some, Bill. We got a big one. Lives under, I don't know if it lives like where the roots of I got a big giant loquat tree. Beautiful, awesome fruit. And we got a big black snake lives in there. He'll come out sometimes and my son will just stand there and watch him and he'll just stare at my son. My son recorded him. He just stands there and looks, not afraid, nothing. He's pretty good size. He's probably about a 5-footer. Yeah, we got all kinds of snakes out there. Got coral snakes, king snakes, rattlesnakes, pygmy rattlers, water moccasins, because I'm right on the water. There's all kinds of snakes. Yeah, Odin. You never know. Omen, yeah. I don't know, I believe in signs, you know. Well, I'll be straight up with you, Dever. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the owl was my mother. You know, my mother passed away. And I thought the owl was my mother visiting me to warn me. And then obviously I thought that was her again to tell me it was time. You know? Thank you, Cormac. But yeah, you know, it's just signs, you know. It's a lot of us, you know, we go through our daily lives and all kind of signs pop up, but we don't see it. You know, we're so You know, a lot of us are so focused, used to daily life. Me, man, my head's always on a swivel. I don't trust nothing. I pay attention to everything, you know. Yeah, that's how I thought, just like in my little small town, that old guy just come up and assaulted me, out of nowhere, you know. Some old guy, as big as I am, I'm twice his size, to come up and want to hit me in my chest. So, you never know. You can be in a small, little, quiet town like mine, and shit happens. You never know. There's crazy people everywhere, man. Crazy people everywhere. They're all over the place. My son says they're demons. The devil, he puts demons in people. My son, man, he's my youngest son. He's really, I'd say especially lately, this last year, he's been really getting into the Bible. Is it really? I didn't know that, Bill. That's pretty cool. Let's see how many steps we got. Let's see. Yeah, we got one more lap. One more lap. All right, man. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, hey. Hey, Coulter. You got a lot of land where you keep your dogs? Yeah. Well, I got 19 and a quarter inch arms, biceps, triceps, solid. My arms are solid. My arms have always been solid. I curl. I used to max out curling on the curl bar, 240 pounds. It was my biggest max weight back in the day. Not back in the day, just a few years ago. So if I'd have hit him one time, it'd have been over. Mini pincher, yeah, those things are cool. The only small dog I ever had, I had for 13 years, and she passed away. I had her for 13 years. She was a miniature, what do you call it, Maltese? Oh, yeah? That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I got a younger cousin. He lives on the res in Oklahoma. He ended up getting married to one of the girls, and then he ended up moving on the reservation with her. They didn't accept him in the beginning. He said they were pretty mean to him. Yeah. I hear you never. Yeah, Bill. I remember you said it, yeah. I got a nephew out there. Well, cousin. Call him my nephew because he's young. But, yeah, he's really my cousin. Say he's short. I ain't that tall. I'm 5'9", 283 right now. But I've been going to the gym off and on for the last 11 years, so got a lot of muscle on me. Just not blowing up. Nah, just like your name says, never again. Never again. 59, yeah. Yeah, never again, man. Nah, I'm done. I still got I don't know if you watch my one videos, I go for walks back on the Withlacoochee Trail in the wild back there. I always take my my younger son's dog. She's a pit bull, and I always take her back there for protection. It's crazy scary back there. There's bears, all kind of stuff back there. So I usually take her back there with me, and we've had her too for, Jesus. She's probably the same age as Loki was. She's probably about 10, 11 years old too, but she acts like a puppy. What's that, Never? It's far as marriage goes, never again. That's what I say, never again. You gonna get married again? Nope, never again. Never again. I gotta tie my shoe. My shoe came untied. I'm gonna put y'all down on the tripod for a second. Just for a second. I gotta tie my shoe. Y'all watch my back. Make sure that old man don't come creeping up behind me. I ain't gonna lie, I still look out for that old man. You never know. He threatened to put me in the ground. You know? And he got arrested for it, so I don't know what kind of grudge he holds. Or if one morning he might be sitting at home thinking, you know what? I'm done. I'm gonna get revenge. Come out of the bushes on me. Pork chop, choppy for sure. Yeah, we got a guy in here, Pork Chop. He comes in every morning. He's from up north. My sister dog and ours. And all those Yorkie. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh man, we got crazy coyotes down here. Especially out here in this field right here. You can't see it, but not in the mornings, but at night, right when the sun goes down, they'll start coming out. Man, you'll hear them calling to each other. And back in the day, they used to be small packs, 2, 3, maybe 4. Shoot, I seen the last few nights, there's been anywhere from 8 to 10 of them in packs. I've seen them take down big old Brahma bulls out here in this field. One night, the mom was trying to protect the calf. They were trying to get to the calf. And then the next morning when I came out for my morning walk, the poor mom was dead. Probably trying to defend her, save her little baby. Them coyotes don't play around. That's like people down here. People down here, man, they don't understand. Especially around where I live, or anywhere pretty much in Florida, you gotta be careful. If there's a body of water, don't take your dog near it. Don't let it go down there and drink the water. And you yourself don't go down there and like put your hand in to see if it's warm or cold. You know, there's alligators everywhere. The alligators, man, they're everywhere. You'll see on the news all the time, especially in these, you know, I'm in the country, so, you know, they're popping up all these little subdivisions with golf courses and stuff. And, you know, the golf courses all got their little water areas. And people go out there and walk their dogs, and the dogs get ate by the alligators. You know? Yeah. Okay. That's my name. Got you. Yep. Hey. Oh. I think I tied that shoe a little too tight. That's pretty tight. What we got going on for the day? I don't know. I've been trying to get my passport. I never had a passport. That's another. I'm gonna try to, you know, you got bucket lists and stuff, things you've always wanted to do, you know what I mean? That's something I've always wanted to do, was have a passport. That's crazy, huh? But I found out I can go to the courthouse. I'm gonna go to the courthouse today and find out what I gotta do to get it. You know, at least I can say I have one. I mean, look, I got my passport. I ain't never left the country, but got my passport. That's another dream bucket list of mine too. I want to go to visit Southeast Asia. Hey, Anonymous. How you doing? I hear you. You have a good day or evening, depending on where you at. Yeah, I think I'm gonna work on that today. Give me something to do. And what else? That's it. I gotta go get gas. I'm like close to empty right now. I think I'm gonna get it now down by the 75 truck stop, so I ain't gotta get it later. It's funny out here. I don't know if it works the same way where y'all live. But like in the morning, like right about now, during like, what do y'all call that, rush hour? Like in the morning when people going to work, the gas prices are always low. And then say after 9 p.m., 9 a.m., then they all go back up. I don't understand that. I mean, is that even legal to do stuff like that? I don't know. But it's cheap right now, so I'm gonna go run and get some. We're gonna go get some. Yeah, I know you probably can't hear it on the camera, but man, them screech owls are everywhere. You can't see them, but they're up in these trees and they're screeching. Ah! Ah! I don't know why they do that early in the morning. Almost as bad as the roosters when they wake up. Yeah, true. Oh, geez, yeah. Nah, not down here, they said. When I was living in Detroit, we used to go over there to Canada a lot, man. I was back in my 20s. We used to go back over there. We used to ride across we used to go through the tunnel or we go over the bridge and then we go for go over there for the clubs. Clubs were crazy over there. I'm gonna try it, Never. I'm gonna try. That's a goal too. I wanna be able to start doing burpees. I love to start doing burpees. I'll put that in. I'll tell you what, Never. If you're already subscribed and you're watching, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to do some burpees today, and I record it and I put it on today's 9 o'clock strength training video, and it should come out. I'll post it tomorrow, and I'm gonna try it. I don't know. I tried it before when I was bigger, but you know my stomach always gets in the way. That's like doing push-ups. How you do a push-up when your stomach's already, you're already touching the ground with your stomach. So it's like how you go up and down. You know what I'm saying? It's like you were wibbling, wobbling on your stomach. You know what I mean? So it didn't make no sense. I used to have to put my feet up and do it like, what's that called, an incline? All right, Never, I hear you. We're going to do 5, right? 5 at a time after 1 week. Do 2 sets, 5 at a time. All right, hold up. How we doing that? 5 at a time. And then that's for the first week. And then after the first week, do 2 sets. Okay. Got you. All right, I'm going to start that today. And I'm going to record it, too. I'm going to record it. How you doing, Fear? All right, people. Love y'all. Leave a like, a subscribe. Help me grow this channel. Follow me on my other channel. Watch some of our videos so I can get some watch time hours. I'm trying to get monetized so I can travel. And let's do this. God bless you, too, Fear. God bless all y'all, man. And I hope all y'all have a good day, man, and take care. And, man, y'all don't understand how much I appreciate y'all talking with me and conversating with me, man. It's like I said, we don't know each other like that, but it makes it so much easier. You know what I mean? It's just so much easier. And as men, y'all understand. You know what I mean? Thank you, Kevin. And, we'll do this again. You know what I mean? We'll be there for each other. And like I said, if something goes on or something pops off and y'all need to get a hold of me, just comment on the channel. I get right back to you, man. You need someone to talk to, whatever, right away. Hey, I'm there. You know what I mean? We'll get in touch. We'll keep it going. We got to stand for each other, man, because we don't stand for each other. Ain't nobody else going to do it. You know what I mean? All right, guys. I love you. Yeah, exactly, Fear. Exactly. We're all brothers and sisters, man. All of us, when it comes down to it. We're all family in one way or the other. All right, people. Love you.